Hi, my name's John Flores and I am the founder of I Pity the Bull. Well, about four and a half years ago, I fell off a bicycle and got my 6th concussion. I lost my job, I couldn't drive for a year and a half, I really couldn't do much, and I actually had to see a psychiatrist to talk about my head injuries because I was in a real dark place. And one day, she decides that she wants to tell me to get a dog. And I look at her and I'm like, you're crazy. I can barely get up and walk. And she's like, I really think you need something to take care of and help you smell the roses again. Well, long story short, that whole session didn't really go well. Kind of turned into an argument because I did not think I needed a dog. Well, later on that day, my best friend of 20 years shows me a picture of a 6-month-old pit bull that needs a home. And she shows me the phone and she's like, do you know anyone that wants this dog? My first initial reaction was like, nope, sorry. And she walks away and she goes, too bad, because you know, if they can't find a home for her, she's going to the pound. And you know what happens to dogs at the pound, especially pit bulls. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I had no idea. But I had that little voice in my head from my therapist saying you need a dog, and I was like, screw it, man. Fine, I'll take the dog. I had no idea what I was doing, but for some reason, my best friend already had it set that I was gonna pick the dog up, so we went and picked up this dog later on that night. She's right here with us. I named her Penny Lane, and it just kind of snowballed from there. And you know, I had this dog who was reactive towards kids and growling at men, and I really didn't know what to do. So I had 2 choices. I could either hide her in the house, or I could step up and be the person she needs me to be. And I chose the latter, and it's probably the best decision I ever made in my life, because since her, we have rescued and rehabbed over 70+ dogs that have come through the house. So I guess, how'd I get into rescue? I got a bunch of concussions, and these dogs have saved me, but not in a way that a therapist saves you or meds save you, but in a way that every dog in my life has held me accountable for every action I do. And because of that, they have made me a better person. And the only way I can give back is to save more of their brothers and sisters, regardless of their breed. And that is our mission. I have been in rescue and working with dogs for about 4 years. It is not anything that I had a passion doing when I was a little kid. I'm telling you, I just kind of fell into it. I haven't been doing it that long. I've been lucky enough to meet people that have been doing it a really long time, and I've been very fortunate enough for them to share their information with me. And you know, I'm very blessed to be in this spot. But anytime someone asks me, you know, how long I've done it, it hasn't been that long. So 4 years. You know, when I got Penny Lane and later on Elvis, that's a whole nother story in itself. But I used to post a lot because I write a bunch of stuff on Facebook, like a lot of people do, you know. And for some reason or another, I'd get a bunch of likes on it. I don't know. It was just right. And I had a buddy of mine hit me up, and he's like, "Man, you should start a blog. You should start a blog because you're wasting your content away on someone else's platform, and it just kind of disappears." And first I thought he was crazy, but again, at the time it wasn't working, wasn't doing anything, so why not, right? So started looking at website names, and you know, with the help of a couple friends, we came up with I Pity the Bull. I don't really have know why we came up with that. It was just kind of catchy, and I don't know, like it just kind of sticks with you. And I guess if you're an 80s kid, you know Mr. T, and kind of, I'm showing my age, but hey, who cares? So I started writing vlogs about my struggles and my success stories, not only with Penny Lane, but with Elvis and with all the dogs I would rescue, because, you know, we all know social media, we love to show the good stuff, but you don't really learn anything from the good stuff. So I made sure that I shared my struggles, and that, you know, it wasn't too different from anyone else that had dogs or anything like that. And it just started to grow, and it started to grow. And not only did the I Pity the Bull start to grow, but man, I started growing my pack, and I started collecting dogs. You know, some might say I'm a hoarder, but I promise I'm not. But I've learned to manage my pack, and I love sharing it with people. And I think because we share our struggles, more people can relate to us, instead of just being that person that they see on social media that can handle their dogs while they're sitting there at home thinking, I'll never be able to do that. I want you all to know, anything you're going through with your dogs, I've been through it. And I know how hard it can be. I know, you know, you can feel like giving up, but I promise if you put the work into it, amazing things will happen, not for the dogs, but for yourself too, I promise you. About maybe less than a year ago, I met Chris at a pet expo out in Pomona. Our booth was set up right next to each other. I've heard of Primal Canine. I, you know, followed them and everything, loved everything, admired them from afar, you know, didn't really know anyone personally. And he had this dog, Luna. He had this dog, Luna, over there, and I was like, where is this dog's leash? You know, and I'm like, oh, I think he belongs to that guy right there, you know? And I met Chris, real cool guy, but I kept watching him with Luna, and it was like, that's pretty amazing, you know? From there, we stayed in contact and all that, and you know, it's been good. We don't see each other that much, but we stay in contact. You know, I love what he does. I love what he does for the dogs. You can tell he loves it. Not everyone who's good at what they do loves what they do, and that's always the difference in leveling up. But you can tell Chris loves what he does, and when he came to me with a Free Dog Foundation, I mean, before I even asked what it was, I was already interested, because I know he's just not gonna, you know, I don't want to say waste my time, but he's just not gonna text me, and, you know, I'm sure he already had all this thought out before he hit me up. But the idea behind it is great. It's something more people should probably do to bring fosters together and rescues together. A lot of people are fostering with their heart, and I think that's awesome, but at the same time, I feel like people, they need the knowledge, and not everyone knows where to get that knowledge from. I've been there. I didn't know either. I was lost for a minute, and the fact that Chris wants to give back in this sort of way to help fosters be better with dogs is amazing, because it can do nothing but make dogs more adoptable and give people a sense of confidence that they can do this. I think a lot of people foster because they feel bad, but they don't feel like they can do it, and they don't want to let anyone down. I think it's important for people to feel confident in what they do, and to have someone like Chris be hands-on with a foster, it does nothing but good. It helps the rescue, it helps people want to foster, and it will seriously limit bad experiences with fosters, because if Chris can match the right foster with the right dog, then dogs become more adoptable, much faster, and now we are saving more. Now we can go back to the pound. Now we can adopt more dogs out. And now we spread the education, and now people, instead of just saying I'm a foster, they recognize dog behavior as a real thing instead of, oh, it's just a dog. You know, we need more people like Chris that will hold people accountable for their actions, because a very wise man by the name of Lynn Boki told me, you know, if you don't know what you want, you can't have it. And a lot of people want a dog, but they don't know what they want them to do. So when things go bad, they blame the dog and not themselves, thinking that maybe if they get another dog, it'll change. But if you want things to change, you gotta change. And if you're having trouble changing, hey, I have trouble changing. You need someone like Chris who is providing a service like this to just further your education and, you know, reach out. There's nothing wrong with needing help, and especially if it's being offered to you. So thank you, Chris. I think this is amazing, and we at I Pity the Bull feel 100% confident in supporting you guys in whatever it is that you need. I'm John from I Pity the Bull, and I support Free Dog Foundation 100%.